So hey, it's Matt again after that marathon video on the first Beach Boys album. Sorry that took so long, but the subsequent ones I hope won't take that long. I just some background about the band and so forth in that one, and next I'll hope just to review the albums, maybe what's going on with them at that time. But yeah, the Vinyl Corner, 1,500 subs, man, that's great. I just wanted to congratulate you on that, and you have a contest running in conjunction with that, and really great idea. I thought that's so straightforward and simple. I'd never even thought of that. He just wants us to show, uh, see a lot of times what your favorite album covers. He wants you to say what's your favorite flip side, what's your favorite back album covers, and that never even occurred to me. So I thought that was a really cool deal, and I might make a couple of videos on this. Went through a ton of albums and just couldn't really think of too many off the top of my head. If you asked me for front covers, I could think of a ton of them, but back covers, I had to think about it. A couple of them, came up right away, but I was flipping through albums and pulling things, that, and so I didn't go through all my albums yet, so I might make another one, just a sort of a companion video later. But I got a bunch of them, so we'll just start off, and I was just pulling them off and putting them in the corner there, so they're really not in any order. First one, and that's in the plastic, so let's do, this is still in the shrink. That is the backs of Paul Revere and the Raiders. The front of this being Paul Revere and the Raiders Christmas album. So this one, and sorry I'm starting off with the Christmas albums, but that's just the last thing that I came up with. Just a nice little collage there of different artists on this album. It's called Soul Christmas. Got a cool cover too, I think. So I think, yeah, we're almost out of Christmas albums here. This is She and Him Christmas album. Zooey Deschanel's fun to look at. She's holding a little reindeer there, Rudolph or whatever, and whatever the guy that's the him in the band. Who cares when you got Zoe to look at? Kind of like that album. The regular albums I'm not that crazy about. Someone's got a contest going on that's, and I forget the name, I apologize, that one of the questions in their contest is what was your favorite album of 2014, and I've run this into the ground, but here's the back cover. I like that, kind of fetching picture of Lydia Lovelace, and so Somewhere Else album, released early 2014. My favorite album of the last probably 30 years, as I've gone over and over, but like the back cover of that. Pick that album up. If you don't think there's been any good music made in the last 30 years, you're half right, but there's been some. This is out of order. I always like that shot of the Beatles. This album is completely trashed. This is not my regular copy that I play. It is the Pink Floyd and a Beatles album. How do you guess that? That is my brother's copy that he bought brand new in 1966 that I appropriated when he went off to college back in the early 70s. So it's well worn. There's no record in it. Don't know what happened to the record. I used to play it, so there used to be one, but because that's one of the first group of Beatles albums when I discovered the band. But I just kept that for sentimental reasons. There is the Frankenstein Monster, Bride of Frankenstein soundtrack. And of course you got Frank and his beautiful wife there on the cover. Trying to go through pretty quick because these are quite a few here, even though I'm going to go. Charlie Poole and with the Highlanders. This is 1927 album. The kind of a hillbilly country music thing. It was a record store day release. I just like that shot of the band. Looks kind of cool. Same on the front. There's a, and I apologize if these are in shrink wrap, so you probably can't. Cool little shot of the old hillbilly music band there. 1929 recordings. Good album. I'm not a big country fan, but I do like this. I like some country, but very little. It's got a cool poster in. I'm not going to take it out, but it's just the cover shot that comes with the record. Kind of a cool picture of this little kid playing drums. That little kid grew up to be Shuggie Otis, another Record Store Day album. This kind of a introduction to her greatest hits. Oops, don't download my card there. I think I already downloaded it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But Shuggie Otis, great soul music. If you haven't checked him out yet, he's one of the great ones. This is one of my favorite album covers of all time. This is the back, and this is the front. And this John Coltrane, this is good surf music. Him and the Beach Boys, kind of. Anyway, one of the best albums ever, of course. 1964, great album, and one of my all-time favorite album covers. It's just a shot of Coltrane. Really simple shot, but I guess it's just the way they caught him or the composition or something. It just always catches your eye. Seems like it's a little off center, even though with the title and all. Just always loved the cover. So I'll say back cover because it's really the same both sides. Might be cheating a little there, but I wanted to get that in. Man, we got a lot of records to go through. Just a good shot of the band: Keith Relf, Jimmy Page, Chris Trajan, all those guys. Little Games by the Yardbirds. Cover's kind of cheesy. This is, I think, it's their last album. I think they released some unreleased stuff later as a last album, but this was their last official album. Another Record Store Day. With your indulgence, let me quickly, just because this looks pretty cool, I think. I've shown this, but yeah, it's a Record Store Day thing. So, not a bad album, not their best, but pretty good. We have a ton of albums here. There's like that shot of the band, the Ventures. Just kind of catches that early 60s instrumental surf rock band look. And there's the cover, which covered up with a sticker on the front. That's on colored vinyl too, but that's a good album. This is another. I like the guy with the double neck guitar there. This is Davey Allen and the Arrows, and he did a lot of instrumental music for these 60s biker gang movie teen hoodlum type B flick soundtracks. So you got there's some of their other albums. There's some posters for some movies. There's the front of it. This is the soundtrack to Cycle Breed, which won 3 Academy Awards in 1965, including Best Picture. That's a classic. It's got some writing on it. Susie Cream Cheese, What's Got Into You. Kind of a good shot of Frank Zappa debut album, Frank Zappa and the Mothers. Nice back cover. Trying to do this as quickly as we can, but I've got quite a stack, so always like that shot of Pete. Never liked this album all that much. It's got 1 or 2 good songs, but it's not very good otherwise. All the Cowboys have Chinese eyes or something. I don't know. It's not a great album. Empty Glass and Rough Mix were a lot better solo album wise. This one's just fair. Should have had the back cover of the Who Sell Out, but I don't have it with me, so that would be one, and that would be my favorite Who album also, one of my top 10 albums of all time. I like the back of this, the motorcycle thrown into the ocean. This is Quadrophenia, the Who's 1973 album. Love the cover of this too. Thing that this is a sort of a rock opera about the mods in 1963, 64, and came out in 73, so you got pictures of the Who in the mirrors circa 73. I think they should have put pictures of them circa 1965 in the mirror personally, but they didn't ask me, and I was only 10 years old at the time. So great, one of my other all-time favorite album covers. The back cover is pretty cool too, not as good as the front. This album's okay. I like some of it. Some of it's kind of overblown for my tastes. Alright. Just a neat shot of Ike and Tina Turner there looking through a broken window. This is the Working Together album. Great album. I like it. Sly Stone jumping around and acting like a fool on the back cover of Fresh. And he's doing the same on the front cover of the album. And he started another stack so these don't all fall down. Good shot of Raphael Saadiq playing guitar there. That's in the shrink, so it's not going to show up too well. Looks like he's playing in a high school gym for a pep rally or something. And of course, there's the cover, Stone Rolling album from about 3 years ago. It's high time he makes another album. Besides Lydia Loveless, this is the other album that I think is a classic from the last 30 years. And go out and buy that immediately if you haven't already. It is great. I always love this shot of them in the old fallen down castle running around. This is the Rolling Stones, of course. And of course, not a bad cover shot either. So, not bad gatefold for all that. That might be another challenge or contest. What's your favorite inserts or gatefold pictures, covers? Maybe, just saying. American version of Help. I just always like that picture of the band standing by the ocean out there in the Bahamas, I guess that is. And just a cool picture. Of course, there's the cover. This is a kind of a simple cover for the American version, but I kind of like it better than the British cover. I don't know, with just the Help and stuff. It's my favorite song of all time, by the way, Help, by the Beatles, bar none. And great album, too. Here's those damn Beatles again, hanging out in front of John's house, or in back of it, maybe. I always like that shot. It's a Hey Jude album, or also called The Beatles Again. There they are in front of the house. That guy's wearing a hat, the statue guy. You know, I always thought this was the back of the album, or till several years ago, and then I learned that this is actually the back. I thought this was the cover, but I always kind of like that picture, so. I'm not a giant fan of the McCartney album. I don't dislike it, but it's he did a lot better on a lot of his other solo albums, I think. It does have its moments, but I have to be in the mood for it. I like this one a lot more than I like McCartney, and I like that back shot. It's pretty cool, and I like the front shot. It's that surprised, goofy look on his face. Love this album. One of my favorites of his. Not so much the gatefold, but great cover, great back shot. McCartney 2, better than McCartney 1, I say. That's John Lennon, and that's how he looked in 1970 when he made this album. Looks really young. He looks younger than he did in the 60s. Front cover's okay, not bad, but I always kind of like the back cover there. That shot of him as a little kid, little private school boy. Underrated album here, I think. I really like this album. There's Ringo waving at the song titles. This, of course, Sentimental Journey, his debut solo album. Like that album. This green guy, and that's his brain or whatever, and then he's talking, and so the thoughts from his brain are coming out. This, of course, Tago Mago, or Tago Mago, however you say it, by Can. Front cover's the same, they're just different colors. Classic album, 1971, and 10 out of 10, that album. It is a brilliant, wonderful, one of the best albums of the 70s. Just a fun, very 1970s soul music looking funk music shot. Funkadelic, that's back cover of their debut album. Front cover there. Also a great classic album. Love that one. Some Girls in the Bathtub. They are, of course, the Go-Go's debut album. Kind of fun, silly shot on the back there. The girls taking a bath. English Bulldog sitting next to a Union Jack chair on the English Ocean, or English Channel, or English Sea, or whatever you call it. I just like that shot. Setting Suns by the Jam is the album. There's the front cover. Great album from 1979, a 10 out of a 10. My third favorite album of all time, bar none. And the back side has the Jam on the banks of a river or pond or big ass puddle of water, and mansion house back in the background, a poem by Shelley, kind of a neat shot. There's the cover. Great album. Another one that if you don't have it, stop watching this video and run out and buy it. Just a good shot of the Kinks. I think they should have used this for the front cover. It's a 1975 album, one of their best albums of the 70s, actually, not including Lola or Low Budget. Yeah, I like that shot. The cover's terrible. Schoolboys in Disgrace, 1975. Really good album, worth checking out. And so, yeah. This one, I just like the, you got this psychedelic painted file cabinet, the wood floor. You got this girl in here typing up, doing her work or whatever. A couple of pictures of the Kinks there. Front cover is nothing spectacular. This is a French album, double album, kind of a greatest hits. Covers their earliest singles up through about 1970, and got this album way back in early 80s, and just kind of a greatest hits thing, really good thing. Back cover, nice picture of Dave Davies there. Front cover is Dave Davies with no face. That's his first solo album, came out in 1980. Didn't do anything sales-wise, but a pretty good album. Kinks were still together when that came out. A couple of roadies with Pink Floyd's equipment all laid out in the middle of a road. Of course, the album is Umaguma, and brilliant front cover, one of the classic front covers too. Goofy, weird album, but I like it. I've got to be in the mood for it, but when I am in the mood, nothing else will do. It's not their best album by any stretch, but it's got a certain character to it and a certain God knows what to it. I just went blank. These are guys that guard the Queen, Buckingham Palace, the Royal Guard guys walking around. Kinks Chronicles, that's the back of that. Another 10 out of 10 album that you shouldn't do without. Just kind of a, I don't know, faraway haunting photo. This is just an album I got of JFK speeches, and it's actually a documentary type thing about JFK. Kind of like the cover shot too. We are done with this. This is the debut album, Jethro Tull. Nice back cover. There's the front cover. Good album. I'm not a huge Jethro Tull fan, but a few of their things I like, and their debut album's a really good one. So I got other albums to look through. I might do another video companion to this, and probably not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. So Vinyl Corner, congratulations on 1,500 subs. I'm sure you'll get a lot more, and a great idea for a contest. I hope a lot of people weigh in on it, and have fun, everybody.